Hi, I'm Christian Basnight and welcome back to my YouTube channel. The first WTA 1000 event of the year is a big success so far, with all 8 quarterfinalists reaching a slam final or better in their careers. I first want to talk about the biggest story of the tournament thus far, which is the apparent resurgence of Naomi Osaka. Naomi has won back-to-back matches on the WTA Tour for the first time since the 2022 Miami Open, which is about 680 days. She first beat Caroline Garcia in the opening round here in Doha, winning 7-5, 6-4, and that was revenge for her opening round exit at the Australian Open, which Garcia won with a score there of 6-4, 7-6. Garcia is ranked 21 in the world, so that was also Osaka's best win in a very long time. I also think her best win rankings-wise since Miami Open 2022. In the second round, she took down Petra Martic 6-3, 7-6, and she actually saved 4 set points in that second set. Naomi was supposed to play Azarenka today in the round of 16, and Azarenka, she actually beat Onstrouver 6-3, 6-2 in the previous round, so that could have been another testy match for Osaka. However, the Ukrainian handed Osaka a walkover due to injury. Also, side note, what is going on with Ons? She has really been struggling since that Wimbledon final loss to Vondrousova. Hopefully the best is coming for her soon because she really needs to get it together. Anyways, focusing back on Naomi and the improvements that I've seen from her recently in this tournament, of course, Osaka, she has not had the strongest comeback as of yet. She was riding a 3-match losing streak coming into Doha, as of course the Australian Open, and then before that in Brisbane to Pliskova, and then last week in the opening round of Abu Dhabi, she fell to Danielle Collins 7-5, 6-love. She came into Qatar ranked 747th in the world, and right now she sits at 286 in the live ranking, so she's slowly but surely moving her way back up there in the ranks. She definitely looks more comfortable out there on court in Doha overall, but specifically talking about her movement, she's moving in and out of the courts far better, and I think that's a big difference maker in the rallies, especially for Osaka, who thrives in those baseline to baseline exchanges. The return has also been much better from Osaka. When Osaka is at her peak, of course her serve is on, but her return, she's probably one of the best returners in the women's game. It really was not on in Abu Dhabi and in the Australian Open, but it's been on this tournament, which is why she's had far more success on that front. She's been getting more returns back in play, first of all, and then when she does get the return back in play, she's returning it with much more interest, much more pace, and she's hitting more return winners, which is definitely suiting her well. Now, after Abu Dhabi, there was a lot of conversation going on about whether Osaka should drop back and play 250 level or even 125 tournaments. I even said this myself, but Osaka repeatedly told the press that she just needed more time and that she was confident that she would find her form from playing these top players in these top events, and she seems to be right. I think this approach might actually be the best in the long run for Naomi. I think Osaka really just needed more matches in general, and this tournament, I believe, will be major for her in the comeback in the long run, and especially if she can get this next win over Karolina Pliskova in the quarterfinals. Now, talking about this upcoming match with the Czech, this will be a rematch of their Brisbane second round encounter from earlier this year, which Pliskova won 3-6, 7-6, 6-4. Really, Osaka, you could say, should have won this match based on the stats, but Pliskova was just too solid at the end. Pliskova really enjoys playing Naomi, as she also enjoys a 4-2 head-to-head advantage over the Japanese woman. However, I give Naomi the edge in this matchup because Pliskova will be playing her 8th match in 8 days here in this quarterfinal. She came off a title win in Cluj in Romania at the Transylvania Open, and she had to win 3 tough 3-setters in Doha to even make the quarterfinals. The Czech beat some quality opponents too. She first took down Anna Kalinskaya and then Anastasia Potapova before coming back from a 6-3, 5-3 deficit to beat Linda Noskova. I think Osaka, meanwhile, will benefit from having that extra day off and having less time on court overall the past 2 weeks, and I believe Pliskova's recent long match play will catch up to her in the end, which is why I think Naomi will progress. Now, the winner of this Osaka-Pliskova match will face the victor of Iga Swiatek and Victoria Azarenka. Iga will be happy that she'll be playing Azarenka in the quarterfinals, as Azarenka took down her pigeoner Jelena Ostapenko 6-love, 6-3. Azarenka is probably Ostapenko's biggest op on the tour right now because the Latvian has been unbeatable in 2024. except when she plays Azarenka. Ostapenko is 14-3 on the year, and she's won 2 500 titles in Adelaide and Linz, but all 3 of those losses came to Victoria. That was likely the reason behind this salty handshake, if you can even call it that. I'm absolutely dead at how Vika just looks at Ostapenko and ignores her when she stuck out her racket. This is already top 5 funniest WTA moments of the year. Iga and Victoria have only played each other 3 times, their last meeting coming back in 2022 at the Rome Italian Open. Iga leads the head-to-head 2-1, with Azarenka's lone win coming back in 2020 at the US Open. You think that Roland Garros is Iga's best performing tournament, but low-key it's Doha. Swiatek is the 2-time reigning champion here, and she is currently on a 10-match win streak in Qatar. She's 11-1 overall at this tournament, and she hasn't dropped a set here since her opening round match in 2022. I think Azarenka is playing high-level tennis right now at the moment, and she could definitely give Swiatek a relatively competitive affair, but I think Iga will ultimately progress to the semifinals in the end in 2 fairly tight sets. Another player that's been playing incredible tennis thus far in 2024 is Elena Rybakina, who is into another quarterfinal after edging past 16th seed Emma Navarro 6-1, 6-7, 6-4. Rybakina fumbled a 4-love lead in this second set tiebreak, so it's a great effort from her to kind of put that behind her and get the W in the end. Now, side note, I've truly got to put some respect on Emma's name because she's been outperforming all of my expectations thus far. She's been performing really well on the big stages at these WTA tournaments. She won her first title in Hobart, and she's actually on the cusp of breaking inside the top 20, so look for more big things to come from her. Now, I saw a funny tweet around the time of the Australian Open that said, when one billionaire falls, Jessica Pegula, another one, Emma Navarro rises. So Navarro, is she the next Jessica Pegula? We'll have to wait and see. Now, Rybakina faces Leylah Fernandez in the quarters, who claimed an excellent 7-5, 6-3 win over Australian Open finalist Qinwen Zhang. Fernandez trailed Zhang 5-3 in the first set before storming back to notch her 6th career top 10 victory. It's nice to see Leylah having some good results again. It's been a rough road for her since she suffered that tough, I think, leg injury at Roland Garros back in 2022, but I think a solid tournament like this can give her the confidence that she needs to have to reach greater heights like she did back in 2021 and 2022. Rybakina, though, will be a tough ask for Leylah, as the Kazakhstanian is high on confidence at the moment, coming off her second 500 title of the year in Abu Dhabi last week. Now, this will be their first meeting, which could aid Fernandez, as her game can be tricky for women who have never faced her before. I still have Rybakina moving through this one in 3 sets. Our final quarterfinal is one between 2 unseeded slam finalists, Danielle Collins and Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. Obviously, we needed some upsets to even get here, and 6th seed Marketa Vondrousova was tossed from the tournament by Pavlyuchenkova. No surprise there, Marketa is definitely going to be in her flop era this season, but Coco Gauff losing her opening round match to Katerina Siniakova was definitely more surprising. Gauff lost 6-2, 6-4, and she actually led Siniakova 4-love in that second set before the Czech rolled off 6 games in a row. Collins took down Siniakova today in the round of 16 to advance to the Elite 8. A lot of Coco puffs were overreacting, in my opinion, after this loss. Some said that she needs to fire Brad Gilbert and bring back Pere Riba. Now, this was Coco's worst loss rankings-wise in a minute. The last time she lost to a player I think ranked outside the top 10 was back at Wimbledon when she fell to Kenin in the opening round. A loss like this was honestly bound to happen, but that stat is truly a testament to how solid Coco has been in the last 6 to 7 months. And Siniakova is a tricky opponent too, even though Gauff did hold a 5-1 head-to-head advantage over her prior to this match. I think we need to wait until Dubai next week before having any true worries about Coco. Focusing now on Danielle Collins, she is low-key a top 10 level player this year herself. She nearly took down Iga at the Australian Open. She beat Osaka in Abu Dhabi and pushed the eventual champion Rybakina to 3 sets there. And not to mention, she's had to come through qualifying in some of these events. She came through qualifying in Abu Dhabi and here in Doha to even enter the main draw. So she's racked up a lot of wins and a lot of confidence in the past month or so alone. I think here playing Pavs is a great opportunity for Collins to reach her first 1000 semifinal since Miami Open 2018, where she first burst onto the scene. I hope Collins can continue this excellent form throughout the remainder of the season and end her career on a high, as unfortunately she is sticking to her plan of calling it quits at the end of the season. That's all I have for this Doha update, and let me know in the comments who y'all think would be our semifinalists. I personally think it would be great for the WTA if Naomi and Iga square off in that Final Four matchup. Now, do we think it's going to happen though? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Also, make sure y'all subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post more Doha updates. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.